What's up everyone, Shirley here. Ny'alotha has finally descended upon us, and today we're going to be taking a look at Ra-Den on heroic difficulty, as well as giving some brief thoughts about the raid so far that we've played. You know, 1 week before Mythics is out, well, weekend in this case. But anyway, I want to start with Ra-Den because really enjoyed this fight so far. It gets very intense during the end, much like Ny'alotha later on in the raid, depending on how you do the order, I guess. And it gets really hectic and hairy down to the wire. It's a good time to be an execute class, especially an arms warrior, because of the way that Testamite, is scaling this tier. And that is going to be amazing during any of these hard crunch execute fights, especially on Mythic. This one and Ny'alotha especially are the two that come to mind, because on Ra-Den here, our Memory Lucid Dreams is going to line up really nice during the last 20%. And if you guys haven't looked at Sims on any of the new Azerite gear, I encourage you to do so, especially because Ny'alotha drops Azerite gear, both of which has Testamite on it, and it's 10 item level higher than any of the other gear in the raid, which means that it's also scaling our Testamite trait on those bosses. Obviously, we won't be getting the mythic versions of those pieces anytime soon, but the heroic versions are still 10 item levels higher than everything else. And yeah, Testamite is going to be insanely good on any of these hard crunch execute phase style bosses that have enrages, or even soft enrages towards the end. But anyway, coming back around here to Ra-Den, you got the two orbs, you know, that come out on either side. I can't remember the fight very well from Mop the last time. I don't know if it's exactly the same. Well, it's obviously not exactly the same, but how similar it is. But this version, it's really nice because we can line up our Warbreaker every other ad spawn, basically, the little void guy that comes out, and we can cleave on him. Now, you could maybe take, what's the talent called? Collateral damage on this fight if you were getting really, you know, spicy with it to get some more rage off of it. I don't know if it's really worth it or not, but, you know, you can at least clip Warbreaker every other one. And then on the flip side of that, when you're going to get the other orb nuked down, then you got your Testamite window for it and Bladestorm. And fortunately, I have the, what's it called? The Gathering Storm trait. So that Testamite window is also going to ramp up even more on that orb with the Bladestorm buff. And from there, it's pretty much rinse, repeat, left, right, until the last 40%, I want to say, 35-ish, something like that. When the boss enrages and he starts doing the big blue swirls on the ground, I can't remember what they're called. Basically, you got to get the hell out of the way as soon as you see them, because they go off really fast for what they are. Fortunately, we have Leap, but it won't be up for every single one, so you got to be on your toes about that. And that pretty much sums up Ra-Den for the moment. Touching on the raid real quick, I'm really happy that we finally got a dragon fight again. It's been too long. I think the last time we had a proper dragon boss was Emerald Nightmare, I want to say. Unless I'm forgetting something along the way. We had 2 dragon fights in Emerald Nightmare, even though one of them wasn't really a proper dragon fight, being the Dragons of Nightmare. But this raid, we've got 2 again, which is really nice, and both of them are actually pretty slick. The first one being Rathion, of course. Really enjoyed it. It's really simple and easy, as a good introductory boss should be, but the aesthetics of that room zoning in is just, it's really nice. I'm a big fan of that. And the other one being Vexiona, and she reminds me a lot of Onyxia, you know, been raiding Classic on and off since it's came out, and that's, you know, a nice little throwback. Definitely more engaging than Onyxion Classic is. But I was half expecting to see that fight have some sort of, like, threat mechanic, just to, you know, give a nice callback to Onyxia, but they didn't do anything like that. But yeah, other than those 2, there's going to be a couple of fights out of the raid that I'm a little bit worried about on Mythic, being the soccer boss, or football, whatever you want to call it, especially because Grand Inquisitor Zanesh, I want to say. Maybe I'm wrong on the name there. But the one with Ashar in the room, because she's just a glorified target dummy, unless you're playing football, so we'll see. I'm worried about that one on farm more than anything, and not that we won't be able to do it, but on farm, when people are not paying attention as much, or just get lazy, or whatever, then You know, just, I see potential wipes on that over and over again, kind of like Vaden of Virtue. Did I say, yeah, Vaden? Maiden of Virtue back in Tomb of Sargeras was kind of the same way. But other than that, really big fan of the fight so far, and really looking forward to jumping right into Mythic next week. I'm going to keep this one short today, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.